So you are probably getting prepared to start off the week in the market, and there's some preparations you're doing, and these are the things that I would not want you guys to miss out on throughout the whole week that is coming, right? So do not forget to do the following, as I'm going to be doing the breakdowns, and you also will be comparing with deals that you've done already over your site. So last week we talked about gold, and I told you guys that we expected, or we wanted gold. Let me just go to H4. That we wanted gold to do what? To slightly go a bit higher and grab some people's liquidity into this area here before going lower. And that's exactly what gold did. But that's not for this week. That is last week. So we want to see what is the possibility this week. So as usual, we're going to start from monthly. If monthly is a big time frame for you, some of you say that monthly, weekly, and daily are big time frames for you. So you can start from daily H4, H1. It can also work for you, but I really advise you do monthly, weekly, and daily for structures direction. So when you start from monthly, you can clearly see that this is a weak momentum going downwards. You can see this momentum here and this one here. This is a strong one. This is a weak one. So it's like in the long term, gold is just making a retracement and it's bullish in the long term, right? So when you come down to the weekly time frame, what do we observe? I've spoken a lot about this structure here that the weekly is creating. You can see strong momentum upwards and weak momentum downwards. So meaning we're just correcting somewhere before we can continue upwards, right? But that doesn't stop us from capitalizing on the opportunities that the market is giving us. So let me just increase here so that we can see properly. Now, what do we observe clearly here? We do observe that the market actually, we spoke about the market coming to retest this level here last week, right? To come back, it tested it, but we said you should come back and test it for the second time. The market did that, right? So currently, what do we observe? We observe that we have a weak momentum going upwards. You can see we have one sell candle and two buyers here, but still not even 50%. So we do expect the market to push down. But so monthly and weekly speaking the same thing, but does daily agree? Let's check in daily time frame. Let me just slightly go back to the weekly time frame. Now, weekly time frame also, we spoke about our target, which is this one, the first target. Why? Because we have this false breakout here, and also it was not tested. So whenever there's a false breakout, let's say the market rejected for a minute, comes back and makes a false breakout and goes back up. This area here, most times will need to be tested, right? So this is what we are seeing here. What do we observe? We are seeing that the market rejected here, went up. When it came down, this level here didn't hold. It broke down again, broke back up. This makes it a false breakout. So we need the price to come back down, right? So these are the levels that we have to trade within. So now let's go down to the daily time frame. Now, daily time frame, you can see it has already done what we wanted, the retest that we wanted. This is the area I wanted price to test before we continue. Now, we talked about the market testing this hidden level here, then coming back down to test this area here. Now, meaning that the level that we need the market to test again is this area here. So meaning again, we do expect gold to at least push slightly higher into this area here before continuing down. So there are higher chances that we could see gold pushing up. So if you're a scalper, there's a higher chance that we could see gold pushing into this area again, and then before we continue down. Are you getting it? So we expect a push up before a push down on gold. To do what? To finish this level here. We have a false breakout. This was a rejection upwards, false breakout. So we expect the market to come back down here. So we expect the market to come into this area here. This is our area of interest here. So weekly traders, you know that if the market pushes here, we can be looking for entries on which time frame? On H4. Daily structure traders, if the market pushes into this area here, what are we going to be looking out for? We're going to be looking for our entries in H1, right? So let's start with H4. What do we observe? In H4, we clearly observe the market has changed trend, yes, but we do have a false breakout here. That's why we're saying that we expect the market to push into this area. Also, H4 agreeing with monthly, weekly, and daily. Are you getting it? So if the market maybe breaks above this area on a weekly test, that's when it will buy. But for now, we want it to push into this area. Why? Let me just show you guys here. We have a rejection, then the market broke upwards. What do we expect when there's a breakout? A weak retest. But instead, the market gave us what? A strong break back, making this area here a virgin area. So we currently have high, higher low, high, higher low. So expect the market to do something into this area here until it changes trend. Then we can look for sales downwards. If then change trend, can easily continue upwards. So our area that is very vital is this one here, right? Those who are trading gold. So if you're trading H1 also, it's very clear. If you go to H1, we are now currently pushing a small push upwards. We have the market breaking above here. So we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, equal highs, equal lows. So the market could remain here, but we wanted to go and grab liquidity into this area before we can push down. Now, in this, why this area? Because we have a false breakout. From this area, the market was pushed down and broke upwards, broke down, right? But it wasn't tested when it broke down. So we needed to be tested again. So those who trade gold, I really hope that this is a very, very, very detailed explanation for you to understand what could happen in the market, right? So if the market doesn't want to reach here, what do we want to do? We want it to break below this area. If it can break below this area on a weekly test, then you can easily take your trade. The same applies to the long-term traders, but remember, trading is a business. We want to buy or to sell something. We want to buy something at the cheapest price and want to sell something at the highest price, right? So that is one example of some things that you should do when the market starts. Mark out your levels properly so that you really wait for them. Do not just gamble in the market, right? So this is our area of interest on gold. Let's do another one that I talked about also last week, which is GBP USD, right? Now, recall I told you guys GBP USD, I am not interested in GBP USD until which level is broken, until this level is broken. Now, currently, the month is still left with about 6 to 7 days to close, but you can see price is already below this area here. I talked about this last week. Just watch the last 3 videos. You can see that it's a series of the same thing. When you want to be a consistent trader, make sure you're trading using the same method. The problem is that you guys are jumping from one, you call them strategies, from one strategy to another, from this to the other. You see Paul has posted profit, you want to trade like him. You see so-and-so has posted this, you want to trade like him. You do not have a clear pattern or clear vision of how you want to trade. If you notice all the videos on our channel, it's the same thing, right? So let me just clear this and we do it again. We identify our areas of interest. Again, we can clearly observe that I've been talking about this ever since it was down. And we said that the market needs to come and test untested levels inside there, which it did, right? Then you can clearly observe the market was coming higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So I'm interested in the market closing below here so that I can be looking for sells, right? So that is one area in monthly that the market closed below in the next few days, right? But currently we can still utilize what is happening. So what is happening is this. We also have a market that, to just confirm with what monthly is saying, we have a market that has broken below this previously strong level of resistance. It was a resistance here. The market again was resistance here. We broke above, came back, retested it, of course, with a false breakout. Now we expected the market to come back and retest it here and then it rejects. Instead, the market has closed below it, right? So there's a retest here, but this is not a proper retest. So there's a higher probability that the market may want to come inside here to test this level before continuing down. That's why I'm saying we still have days before the month closes. Now, let's go down to the daily time frame. That was weekly. So daily time frame has been very, very clearly bearish, right? So the market creates lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. These are equal lows here, equal highs, lower low. So we did have a market that created a false breakout, came back, retested this level here, creates a lower low, then we retest it, lower low. We broke this level and tested it. But remember, this is an improper retest in the higher time frame. So there's a possibility of us coming to retest into this region here before continuing, as long as we don't break above this area. If we break above this area, it's a threat. We could have a weak retest, then we push higher. But by the look of the things, we still have a proper downtrend. We have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So this is a lower low, like this, lower low, lower high. So we have broken this level. What does it call for? A small push back up before continuing down, right? So when the market opens, those who trade reversals, I don't encourage, if you don't have a clear trading playbook, I don't encourage you to trade reversals. I've mentioned this in several videos. Make sure you're trading continuations. By continuations, I mean wait for the market to go and retest here before you can go down with it. Are we together? So this is what I expect on GBP USD. If the market opens, those who trade the reversals, I mean those who have a playbook, have entry rules, exit rules, have sentiments, know what fundamentals are doing, right? You have been trading consistently the same trading style for a very long period of time. You can look for reversals into this area. In case you don't have those things I've mentioned, wait for the market to reverse into this area, then trade the continuation downwards. Are we together? So these are the structures that we have. Those who trade daily, those who trade weekly, you can see that the areas of interest we have identified are the following. Now let's go to the entry time frame and we observe. So we are saying that the market could possibly come there, but how? You can clearly see we're still in a downtrend. Why? Still doing the same thing: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, these are equal lows. So you do not want to buy in a market that is still going downwards, making lower lows. Wait for the market to create a structure and starts moving upwards. That's when you can buy up to this area here. Are we together? So that's for H4. The same applies for H1. H1 is also still in a downtrend. Since H4 is in the downtrend, also H1 is in the downtrend. You can clearly see this is a pure downtrend. Market is making low, lower high, low, lower high, low, equal highs, equal lows here, lower high. So when you break down, the market could want to come and test into this area, maybe creates a structure. When it breaks above, then you can have this as your target, then also this as your target. So one, you want first see a structure and then change of trend from making lower lows to making higher highs. So those who trade GBP USD, we expect a push either into this area here or extremely into this area before we can continue lower. So these are the things that you need to do every week, week in, week out. Identify the type of trader you are. One, am I trading a continuation or am I trading a reversal? After identifying that, make sure your rules are in place. How am I taking my trade? Do you use confluences of indicators and blah, blah, blah? Make sure you have the entry rules. Thirdly, make sure you have your exit rules. By exit, I mean that there's a trade management in between there. There's your target that you have set. You've identified areas of interest, areas of entry, and you know the risk that you're putting in there. And make sure that your emotions don't get the best of you. The emotions won't come into play in case these three things are there. Identify, are you trading continuation or reversal? Get your entry rules properly, follow them, then have exit. Exit may be positive or negative. When the trade is going against you, what is helping you? Are you a person using stop loss or using validation levels? Make sure you have all those places, all those things in check. So this is it for this week. I hope you guys have a profitable week.